In this week's Fab Mom on 2, it is October. Well, are you excited about or dreading your child's parent-teacher conference? Our parenting lifestyle expert Jill Simonian is here with some important do's and don'ts. And I know this is a dreaded experience for a lot of parents only because it can be a reflection, or they feel like it's a reflection of who they are as a parent.
Yes, as parents, we get so nervous. And I remember on my daughter's first parent-teacher conference, I was flipping out. In fact, we did a poll on our CBS LA Facebook page that said, you know, how do you feel about parent-student-teacher conferences? 68% said they were valuable, but only 8% said fun, and we got to make this fun if it's going to be a positive experience.
Well, what is your first tip?
Okay.
How do we make this fun?
The first tip, it's all about the attitude. And this is all comments. I mean, you know, we know what to do, but we got to approach the conferences with a positive attitude. Walk in as though it is a team effort. First of all, show up.
Yeah.
Research says that, you know, the more successful a student is at school is directly correlated with how involved the parent is, and that includes being at the parent-teacher conference.
Sure.
So show up and show that teacher through your attitude that you are on the same team.
And listening.
Listen. That's right. We want to sit there and listen to what the teacher says first and then start the conversation.
Before we say, no, that's not happening.
Exactly. No,
that's
we
not
didn't
my
know that.
child.
Yeah.
How could that be?
Exactly.
And then also, don't tell the teacher. What's that about?
Oh, don't tell the teacher how to do their job. Yes, that's the one thing we want to avoid. When it comes with that listening thing, we want to listen. We don't want to tell the teacher how to do their job. We also want to use the word and more often instead of but. Like, for instance, if you know, the teacher asks you, how is little Susie doing? And you say, well, she really likes school, but I'm afraid that she's bored. That can be really offensive and draw the line between what you're talking about. Well, little Susie really likes school, and the only thing that I'm worried about is that she might be having too much fun and not paying attention to what's happening. You know?
And the most important don't you have is what?
Don't think that conference is the only time that you're going to be talking with that teacher. You got to keep the communication going. Every teacher I talked to said, we want to hear from the parents. Send your emails, connect online through the school portals. We want to communicate with the parents because that's what's going to make successful kids.
I mean, you have report cards and you have these parent-teacher conferences. Why do you think these conferences are so important?
Well, they are important because sometimes you only get about 15 minutes, and that one-on-one time when you can exchange stories. Us parents need to fill in the gaps as to who our kids are at home, because the teacher sees one side, we see another side, and the only way these kids are going to learn is if we meet in the middle and fill in the whole person. That's how problems are solved.
All right, Jill. We will have more on how to team with your child's teacher on our website, cbsla.com. And this Friday, Jill will be sharing some tips for getting your child out of a subject slump. On our morning news at 6:45 a.m. Thank you so much for being here again, Jill. All right, we'll send it back to you, Paul.